So today we're reading an article on the bbc.co.uk website, and this one is called GPs Turn to AI to Help with Patient Workload, and it's written by Susan Bean. It's about 2 or 3 weeks old. I'll scroll down to about here, and I'll hand over to Christine to read. So over to you,
Again,
Christine.
thank you. Definitely, thank you. I already like switch it your recording, so I will go for it. So I said, thank you for giving me the stage, and I will start. Hopefully, my internet connection is better, and next time I'll try to use a different device than this one. So this is the 5th feature in a 6-part series that is looking at how AI is changing medical surgery treatments. The difficulty of getting an appointment with GP is a familiar requirement in UK. Even when an appointment is secured, the risking workload faced by doctors means those meetings can be shorter than either the doctor or patient would like. But Dr. Deepal Mishra, a GP partner in Birmingham, has found that AI has alleviated a chunk of the administration from the job, meaning she can focus more on patients. Dr. Marsha Sharp started using Heidi Health, a free AI-assisted medical transcription tool that listen and transcribe patient appointments about 4 months ago, and says it had made a big difference. Usually when I'm with a patient, I'm writing things down and take away from the consultations, she says. This now means I can spend my entire time looking eyes with the patient and actively listening, full stop. It makes for a more quality consultation. She says that it reduces the workflow, saying her 2 to 3 minutes per consultation is not more. She reels other benefits. It reduces the risk of workforce and decline while the number of patients continue to grow. GPS, I would say this general practitioner doctor facing less pressure. A single full-time GP is now responsible for 2,273 patients, up 17% since September 2015, according to the British Medical Association, MBA.
Okay, thank you.
It's just,
thank you very much.
Yeah, it's just, no, thank you for helping.
Okay, so thank you for that. Just to mention that as you were reading, certain chunks of it, I just couldn't really hear what you were saying because your voice was breaking up or some other strange effect was occurring. In certain places, you seem to slow right down. I'm sure you weren't doing that intentionally, but it was the internet interfering with your voice and sound. So there were certain chunks I really couldn't hear. But overall, I really liked the reading. It was very good. I thought you read a little bit too quickly, a little bit too fast. Because if you think that we're listening to this and we're trying to understand, and we haven't seen this article before, we need to try to understand what you're saying, and then try to understand the meaning as well. So if you're talking out to, perhaps you're giving a speech at an event or a wedding, perhaps, or something. You need to speak at a slightly slower speed, I would suggest.
Okay.
You're probably just no, that's okay. No. You're probably just doing this in a sense of, in a way, when this article was written, it wasn't really meant to be read out loud. It was people reading it perhaps on their phone, on the train.
Okay.
And so that's the sort of speed we probably would have read it to ourselves.
But if you want me, I can go once.
So in future, hold on. No, in future, can you just read it at a slightly slower rate?
Yeah,
so that we can understand and we can hear it, and also it allows you to pronounce the words in the best way that you can. I would say that's okay.
Yeah, I will try to.
So a lot of people do exactly what you just done. So just highlighting the bottom here in blue, this thing here. So you said, I think you read it out as GPS. GPS.
Yeah,
So we'd normally say
GPS.
this.
Yeah,
We'd normally,
GPS.
can you hold on a second? That's right.
Yes.
That's right. We'd say it as GPs. That's it, GPs. So it's like the plural of GP. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yes. Yeah, you're perfectly right. I probably I should, you know, like
you're breaking up
reading
again.
quite.
I'm sorry to say, you're breaking up again.
Okay, so I'm breaking up.
I noticed that, say, there's this number here at the towards the bottom, 2,273. So 2273. A couple of ways you could have said that. I noticed with the 3, the TH sound is still a little bit tricky for you. I noticed one other word somewhere. I can't think what the word was. I think it was the word health. So if I just type it up here. So it was the number 3, and it was, I think, the word, have I spelled this correctly? Yes, I have. So health. And it's this, the TH sound is tricky. And I think this came up last time too, didn't it? The TH was a bit down.
The same.
So do you want to just practice these 2 words again on the screen up here? Can you just say them again for me?
So 2,273. 3.
Oh yeah, that sounds pretty good, I'd say. So 3. 3.
3. 3. 3.
The last one was okay. The first one before that wasn't so good. So maybe this other word here, this has a TH sounded at the end this time, and it was in the article. Can you try this one again? This one here on blue.
Which I can't see blue. Nothing. Which
so
one?
it's where my cursor is.
It's in gray. Oh, okay, sorry. Half.
You're rushing it slightly. Can you say it in a way that's more like you linger a little bit on the sounds? Because you're rushing through it very, very quickly.
Half.
Like, let me say it for you. I would say this word as health. Health. Can you give it a go?
Yes, I will. Health.
Oh, that sounds pretty good, actually.
Christina, looking away. Oh, looking for a health. Just looking for health.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. You can do the TH, but it's a struggle for you, I think, isn't it? You have to really think about it. The problem is, in English, this sound occurs quite a lot. So there's many words and important words too. So I think it's come before. So that's though. And of course, there's thought. What's that word? Oh, throw. I typed that word up by accident.
Yeah,
I meant a different word. It came up by accident. So if you throw a stone or a cushion or something, that's right. So it's an important sound if you can get it. So can you just do these last 3 words here again, just for practice?
Yeah.
On the screen.
I throw something. Okay, so it's just upside down. No, I will do it. So this is though, fall, throw, though, fall, and throw.
You're making some progress, I think. Your first attempt at these 3 words was the best one. But when you did this the second time, when you said this first one up here, you said something like that word, I would say, dough. So you made the TH into a D, and strangely, a lot of people do that. It's a sort of a shortcut that some people do. So be aware, it's very easy to put another sound in there.
Which is though something totally different. Though, I mean, when somebody
dough could be bread. We're making bread. You make dough.
Bread, dough.
Right, so,
exactly. Yeah. No.
But normally you can work out what somebody's saying from the context. So obviously it was obvious you were saying what you might be saying. So it's not really a problem. I noticed when you're reading the article, the medical article, you saw sometimes you just missed out the H completely. So with the number up here, 3, and you said something like tree. something like tree.
Tree.
Oh, yes, that's sort
Like
of
a tree, like a tree.
So that's some of the tricks that we do sometimes, or people do, to make it sort of to avoid making the th sound. So be aware of that when you're making, if you're making it, getting it wrong, sort of, because you may be getting it wrong, I should say. So I'm telling you what to look out
this is
for.
the common mistake,
that, yeah?
I guess, for French, for Italians.
Well, I'm saying that I've heard you
Okay,
do this, so that it's good to know the mistakes that we make, because we're then sort of forearmed, can hopefully spot it ourselves and correct ourselves. It's a great skill to have, I think, to correct yourself.
Is it true? Boosting and correcting yourself. I know that I have this this is particular mistake with DHH.
No, we say it's a mistake. I mean, well, it's
No,
just that it's difficult to make. A lot of people struggle with it. So let's practice making the TH. Can we practice making the TH sound on its own? I've mentioned before, what we do is, to get the sound, is we have to touch the back of our teeth, I should say, with our tongue. You touch the back of your teeth with your tongue, and you then sort of basically blow air along your tongue, the top of your tongue, so it hits the back of your teeth. And that's really good. That gets that sort of sound. I'll just do it now. Just imagine what I'm doing inside my mouth to get it. I've just described it, of course. So here we go. Quite strange, isn't it? But of course, when it's a word, it's just for a moment you're making that noise. I'm stretching it out to exaggerate it slightly. So if I say the word throw, throw, and I try and stretch out the th, and just imagine my tongue just touching the back of my teeth. Obviously, it's the top set of teeth, not the bottom set.
You know, this th seems to be a snake.
A snake.
No, I mean, you're like a snake. You put your teeth and
it's not far from that.
Your lips. Yeah, but it's not far. They say like a snake are doing.
Yeah. Well, I'll do both of those sounds just now, and perhaps hear the difference. So I did the th to start with, so, or try to do it. So throw, and the s is
no, yeah, but this
so
is
they're not far apart, but there is a difference. So there's much more air coming out. There's much more air coming out with the s, I suppose. Thinking about it,
yeah, but
my mouth's slightly dry as well, so I'll have a drink of water.
No, but s it's easier, like, but th like you're a snake.
It's not far from it, but it is significantly different, I would say.
Yeah.
So, did you understand what I was saying about making the th sound? Do you want to give it a go now? Do you want to play with it a little bit for about 30 seconds or so?
Yes, I will.
Just touching the back of your teeth with your tongue. That's me doing that.
Three.
And try and stretch it out for a few seconds, much longer than you would normally have to use the th.
Yeah, but I will make the s. The s.
I don't care. Do anything. It doesn't matter what you do. Make a big burping noise if you want. It's practice. We expect to get it wrong. I get it wrong all the time. You clearly haven't been to these classes very often. I get it wrong all the time.
Three.
You're not really doing what I'm saying, really.
Yeah,
what I said was just make the sound. Because you're jumping 2 or 3 steps further along. You're going too far too quickly. Just try to get the th sound for the moment. Yeah. Is that
so
okay?
th will be. Yeah, I said so. I'm trying to, like, practice.
Yeah, but I can't say I've actually heard you practice, to be honest.
I practice.
Just doing it once isn't really practice, really. Doing it for half a second isn't practice, I would say, to be honest.
Okay.
If you're trying to, learn to drive a car, let's say 1 minute's practice is not enough. You'd want an hour doing it at least. In one go.
Okay.
That makes sense.
1 hour. It makes sense. Yes.
Not
1 hour
making
active.
this. No, that's driving a car. This is not driving a car. I was said stretch this out for a few seconds is what I was saying. So just make that noise, the TH sound, for a few seconds, and that will be the practice. Can you just do that? So just copy what I'm doing after I've done it. So I'm going to practice it for you now. So here we go. That's a few seconds, just 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay.
Can you give that a go?
Yes.
Yeah. That's not bad, actually. I'd say you're halfway between the TH and the S. You're in the middle between those two. So you're getting there is good, actually. So what you can expect when you're practicing, you can expect to get it wrong. In fact, I guarantee you're getting it wrong when you're practicing. That's the idea. The idea you get it. The idea is that you do get it wrong when you're practicing, but then you try to correct a little bit so you get it better and better. So that when you have to use it, you're that much closer to how it should be. That's the idea. So we're here, in fact, to get it wrong. I want you to get it wrong. Please get it wrong. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So don't be
But
frightened of get it wrong. Get it wrong on purpose sometimes. One way to
sorry, but
learn.
I'm always
just
between
to
there and
interrupt.
the middle.
Just to interrupt.
Mhm.
Just to interrupt. One way to learn is to intentionally do it wrong. Intentionally do it wrong, and then try to do it right, because it helps to break up old patterns. If you're doing something wrong, you can't break out of it. Do it wrong intentionally, and it helps sometimes, not always, sometimes it helps to break up a stuck pattern. You get it right. Then go to try to
just doing wrong.
So I interrupted you. What were you about to say? I interrupted you.
No, you're perfectly right. Thank you for helping me. I got it. So intentionally, I mean, deliberately trying to doing this, even though it's not perfect, but maybe step by step. Okay, I got it.
So do you want to practice again with the TH sound?
Yes, yes. This is something different. So I try to do it like snake. I don't know differently. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm not hearing some of it. I think
my best.
I'm not hearing some of it because I guess because of the internet or the phone or whatever it is. So once again, next time, try to use your laptop if you can.
Yes. Yeah.
So perhaps I can leave you with that, practicing the TH sound. Maybe we'll come back next time and have a look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes. Okay,
Jorge,
thank you.
I think it's going to have to be. I have to head over to you now. Okay,
yeah,
so
perfect.
we just read this little piece on the screen now, Jorge, if you remember. I'm sure you do. Were there any words here that you came across, or that we read out, or Christina read out, that you weren't sure of the meaning, or you wanted to go back over? And perhaps you'll read the next article further down. But are there any words here like consultation or something that you didn't understand, or administration?
Let me check. Sorry. Reels off. When they say she reels off other benefits.
Oh, reels off.
Reels
I vaguely remember that. Yes, somewhere in the middle, wasn't it? If you reel off something, you might say, I might reel off a list of excuses why I was late for work. Oh, my car wouldn't start. There was a traffic jam. That's me reeling off a list of things that, does that make sense? Reel off. So you're unwinding a long list of things or excuses or reasons why something is the case. Does that make sense? I can't see where she used it in the article, but I'm sure she. I doubt.
Is when she says the tech reduces her workflow.
Is this in the beginning, the middle?
Yeah, at the beginning.
At the beginning. So the first paragraph, second paragraph.
No. It's the sixth paragraph. After the The paragraph starts with, she says the tech reduces her workflow.
Okay.
Saving.
Yes. And she reels off other benefits. So then there's a semicolon, which kind of sort of indicating here's the list. It reduces the risk of errors and omissions in my medical note taking. Yes. And there was one before it as well, in that it saves her time. Saves her time. Anything else? Does that make sense, hopefully?
Yes. The rest is okay for me.
Let's scroll down then, farther bit we haven't read. So it's this bit at the top now, where it starts, could AI.
Could AI, okay.
That's it. Do you fancy
Could-
reading that bit there? So
Yeah.
don't read too quickly.
No,
I
no,
can hear you,
it's
I can
okay.
hear you nice and clearly, so there won't be any internet interference here. Over
Okay,
to you then.
perfect.
Your go.
Could AI be the solution to help GPs cut back on administrative tasks and alleviate burnout? Some research suggests it could. A 2019 report prepared by Health Education England estimates a minimal saving of 1 minute per patient from new technologies such as AI, equating to 5.7 million hours of GP time. Meanwhile, research by Oxford University in 2020 found that 44% of all administrative work in general practice can now be either mostly or completely automated, freeing up time to spend with patients.
That was really good. I like that. Very good. Yes, that's very clear.
One company, sorry.
Hold on. I think you're reading off the, okay, so I'm sharing my screen here, so I've got just about 3 paragraphs. Okay, so there was the one word here I noticed, it's the word tasks. I think it was this first line. You can see where I'm highlighting it up here.
Task.
Tasks. It's got S on the end.
Task.
That's it. Just say it again for me. So tasks.
Tasks.
And again.
Tasks.
Okay, so it's quite a subtle difference. So let me just clear this page.
Okay.
Roll it up there. So it sounds very slightly like you're saying tusks, I should say. So that's almost what, not exactly this word. It sounds a little bit like tusks.
Tasks.
You know, an elephant has 2 tusks coming out of its face. Do you know when I say elephant, do you know what I mean? An elephant has 2 tusks.
Yeah, okay.
Like teeth. It sounds a little bit like that word, what you're saying. So I'm saying tasks. Oh, I can't spell. Do forgive me. My spelling is appalling. So there we go. Tasks. So if I say both of these words, it's only very subtle. It's not a big thing. So tusks and tasks. I'd say you're almost in the middle, actually. So yeah, once again, so tusks at the beginning and tasks at the bottom. So you'll go.
Wow. Tax and tax.
Ooh, they sound very similar. Let me say it again. I'll say it a couple of times, this top one. So tusks. That's the elephant one. And below that is tasks. So with this one here, this A is sort of making like something like an R sound. I'm saying tasks. Tasks. And this one here is is it? Tusks, yeah. Tusks.
Okay, so the first one is tax, and the second one is tax.
Yeah, you're getting there. Let's do it again then. The very top one is tusks.
Tasks.
You're just doing it slightly too quickly. See, I'm saying it, and I'm about to say it the second time, and then you interrupted me. So I'm not really hearing what you're doing. So can you let me say it twice, and then wait half a second or 2 seconds, and then you say it twice? Is that okay?
Okay, perfect.
So I'll say this top one then twice, then it's your go. So tusks, your go.
Tasks.
I think you're rushing it very slightly for some reason. Can you just take it slightly slower? Take the whole word slightly slower. It's as if if you have to go in a few minutes, that's okay. But can you just say the word slightly slower? Is that okay? So say that same sort of speed I'm saying it at. So tusks. You'll go.
Tasks. Tasks.
Tell you what, we'll take off the final S, because this sort of a sound is quite tricky for some people. So get
Okay.
rid of the final S and make it just a singular. So
Okay.
tusk. Can you try that? Tusk. You'll go.
Tax. Tax.
What I'm hearing you say, it's more like tux. So the S here is making like a sausage sound.
Yeah. So first the
Yeah.
S and then the K, and I pronounce the opposite. I pronounce first the K and then the S.
Yeah, so this is the incorrect sound.
Okay.
Okay, just try the real one again.
Task.
Ah,
Task.
that's so much better. I'd say about 75% there, I would say. So I'll say it a couple more times, then it's your go again. So tusk. Your go.
Task.
Yeah. I'd say you're 80%, 90% there now. That's pretty good,
Okay.
actually. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
So let's kill the final S on this one as well. So it's a singular job that needs doing. So this is an elephant's big tooth or something that comes out of his head. And this is one job that needs doing.
Mhm.
So I'll say it twice, then it's your go to say it twice. So task. Your go.
Task.
Your first one wasn't so good, but your second one was better. But I'd still say you're only about 50% there. This one needs more going out, I think. So the vowel here, it's more like an R sound. So if I just say it slowly again, so task. Yeah. So you'll go. So I'll say it twice, then it's your go. So task. You'll go.
Task.
I think your second one was the better one of the two.
Mm.
So let's do it again. I'll say it twice, then it's your go. So task. Yeah, you're sort of introducing another sound, really. It's not quite there. You're stuck at about 50%. If I heard somebody say that, I wouldn't really know what they'd said.
Mm.
The only way I'd know what it was because it was written down. So it's just not clear, I would say. We'll leave it for the moment. So maybe if you have time, or if we forget to come back to this, make a note of it and come back to it perhaps on your own. One thing you can do is if I copy this word and stick it into the dictionary. So I thoroughly recommend this dictionary, Collins's dictionary.
Mm.
I think it's slightly better than the Google one. So this is why we use this, I think.
Okay.
Google sometimes comes out with some peculiarities. Mind you, Collins comes out with some peculiarities too. So none of them are perfect, I should say. So if we just hear them say the word, so it's the same word, it's singular. You hit the little loudspeaker button and we'll hear what they're saying.
Task.
So, task. And then obviously there's a definition down here. It's a noun and a verb, of course. It means to do a job or to be assigned a task. Okay, let's go back to our article then. Okay, so there was one other word here. I think it was this one. I think you sort of said it the American way very slightly. So I would say this word as, do you want to say it again? This word here in blue, if you can see it.
Automated.
That's pretty good. I'd say that's 80%. So automated. And again, for automated.
Automated.
Yeah, that actually probably 80-90%. That's pretty good, actually. That's very good. So maybe what we'll do is I'll reread to you this whole last passage here, this last bit here, and you have a go reading it back to me. Is that okay? I'll read it to you, then it's
Okay.
your go reading the same thing. The bit in blue on the screen.
Perfect.
So okay, so meanwhile, research by Oxford University in 2020 found that 40% of all administrative work in general practice can now be either mostly or completely automated, freeing up time to spend with patients. So it's your go. Over to you.
Meanwhile, research by Oxford University in 2020 found that 44% of all administrative work in general practice can now be either mostly or completely automated, freeing up time to spend with patients.
No, it was really good. Really, really good. Well done. Very
Thank you.
clear, actually. Very good. Maybe the only word I'd pick out was this one here. So I think maybe it's the S
Research.
sound. So I'd say this is research.
Research.
Yeah, once again, so research.
Research.
Let me say it twice and then it's your go.
Ah, okay. Yes.
So research. Your go.
Research.
Yes, I think you had it there. You really had it there. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's the SE sound, isn't it? The search in the middle. You sort of not quite getting there sometimes,
Yeah.
but yes, you're getting those couple of times are brilliant. It's very good. And I think the S is quite tricky, I think, I
Yes,
suppose for the Spanish
it is.
guys.
Yes.
And I suppose the C too, isn't it? What other sounds do you find that you find difficult to make? Because you're pretty good, I would say, on the whole. Even though I sort of spent like 10-20 minutes talking about this, but you're pretty good. So what are the most troubling or the most tricky sounds for you to make, would you say, if anything?
For me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Words that begin with AU, like automated
yes,
and
okay.
auditing, because if I don't think about that, I normally spell like, so I normally read like automated. The same in Spanish, no? Automated. And then I need to think about that and said automated or auditing, no? Audit, no?
Yeah, audit, yes.
Audit, no? Auditing process. So I normally I work in finance and I all the time referring to auditors. But if I don't think about that, I say auditors.
Yes. So yes, audit. Yeah, that's yeah, I can
Audit.
understand that.
Yeah.
That's an OR, isn't it? So let's say all words. So I just put those ones here on the screen. I sort of have the word August, the month of the year, late
August.
summer.
Yeah, for me it's August.
Yeah, yes. We could have Austria. That's slightly different, isn't
Austria,
it?
yeah,
Austria, yes. Have I spelled that correctly? I have, yes. Australia might be another one, of course. Have I spelled that correctly? Australia. Forgive my spelling; it's appalling, I should say. So maybe we'll just say these. I'll say all of these words on the screen, starting with AU. Then it's your go. So Austria, Australia, August, auto, auditors. Your go.
Austria, Australia, August, auto, auditors.
I think your auditors was the best one, actually.
Auditors.
So although it's AU, it's almost as if it's spelled OR at the beginning. Or I know this is the wrong spelling, of course.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what we're saying for this word here. Auditors. When it comes
Auditors.
to this one up, say Australia, oh, it's not really the same sound. It's not really or anymore. It's more of an oh. There's no
Oh.
or sound. It's sort of an oh sound, isn't it? Like oh, oh, Australia, and same with
Australia.
Austria. There's oh sound at the beginning. Whereas back to August, it's more like an or sound. I know it's tricky. That's kind of how it is. I'm sorry. And with auto, so it's just like an O sound. Oh, isn't that right? Yeah. No, it doesn't. That's what I'm talking about. Auto is OR again, isn't it? Sorry, I'm getting confused myself. See, I make mistakes too, you see. There's slight variations even in English, isn't there? It looks like it should be the same pronunciation between Austria and August. There is a difference, I'm sorry to say. So
Can I try all of them again?
how about I just say them again and then it's your go. So
Okay.
I'll miss out Australia maybe. So Austria.
Austria.
Oh, that's it. Okay, you do it after that. So Austria, and again, you'll go.
Austria.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll go. So this one's the other way. So August,
Oh, August. August.
and auto.
Auto. Auto.
Yeah, or we're sort of, it's not fully or you're saying. It's almost it's not quite there. So try again. So auto.
Auto. Auto.
Can you just say or for me? Or just the or sound.
Oh.
Or.
Oh.
It sounds like you're saying oh. Is oh, I'm saying or something like. Can you be a bit more?
Or.
Ah, that's closer. Yes. Or. It sounds like you're just saying the O almost. Oh. Okay, so maybe onto this one down the bottom. So this one's auditor. You'll go.
Auditors.
Okay, yeah, I think you've got that. You've got that pretty much, I think. But it's remembering it now, isn't it?
It's difficult for me.
Yeah. Everyone has that trouble. So one of the best things to do is perhaps to write this down and write down anything to help you remember or to remind you how to say them, these words, and come back to it in an hour. So write this down and come back to it in an hour's time, because we just forget it. It's just, that's how we work, isn't it? And try to come back to it again just for 5 minutes tomorrow in the morning, and then tomorrow in the afternoon as well. That helps make all the difference. So it's being persistent, I suppose, isn't it? So let's just very quickly go back to this other word at the top again, remember. So it's where we started. So tasks. Try again. Tasks. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. I'd say you're 80% there. That's very good. I'd say you're getting the task, but it's the plural. Putting the S on the end is quite tricky. So the SKS is quite a tricky sound, I would say.
Yeah.
Quite a tricky sound. Yeah, very good. Well done. So what could we do? So I've got time to read any more. So when do you guys have to go? We could just read for a little bit further. Both of you could read a bit more. And then maybe we finish about 20 minutes late. How about that? Are you still with us, Christine? Christine, I should say. So Christine is muted herself. I just tried to ask her.
I'm here, I'm listening, yes.
Okay. So do you want to read again a little bit? Perhaps we have 5 minutes each reading again, and then maybe each of us. So it's over to you for another just 5 minutes, maybe 2 paragraphs. That bit there, perhaps, Christina. Okay, over to you then. Whenever you're ready, Christina. Are you ready to go, Christina? Hello, Christina, I can't hear you. Are you still there? I can see she's still logged in, but she's not saying anything, I would say. Christina. Strange. Christina, we can't hear you. We can't hear you at all.
Can you
I heard like half a word just then, Christina, but that's all I heard, just one half of one word. So I guess it's the old problem come back again. Tell you what, in future, can you just use your laptop? Because this is getting a little bit sort of silly, really. So maybe try again in about 5-10 minutes, and I'll carry on with Jorge. That's okay. So Jorge, is it okay if I just
Yes.
we come back with you? So what I've done, Christina, I've just muted you, and so we'll come back to you in 5-10 minutes after Jorge's second go. So this little bit in blue, Jorge, do you fancy another read through here? So you'll
Okay,
go,
perfect.
Jorge.
One company working on that is Denmark's Forti, which has developed AI that can listen to healthcare consultations, either over the phone or in person, and suggest follow-up questions, prompts, treatment options, as well as automating note-taking. Sorry. Forti says its technology processes about 150,000 patient interactions per day across hospitals, GP surgeries, and healthcare institutions across Europe and the US, totaling about 100 million encounters per year.
Yeah, really good. I like that. Very, very good. Really clear. Obviously, you've done quite a lot of English, I would suggest. Have you been using English for many years, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
it really shows.
At
Very
work.
good. Yes. I noticed occasionally you miss out the ends of a word. So there's just 2 instances where I think you missed out the end. And I suppose if it's finance, it could be important, couldn't it? If it's millions or millions. So it could be. But yeah, of course. But so, and I do the same thing too. So, but I have noticed that I think the Spanish do sort of drop off the ends a little bit. I don't quite know. I've never it's actually worked out why. But so I think you missed off the S of hospitals. I think it was
Hospitals.
That's it.
Okay.
And there was another ending. I can't remember. And there was another ending somewhere. So that's just be aware of it at the moment.
Consultations, probably.
It might have been. It might have been actually. Yes, it might have been. But I can't
follow up questions, prompts. For me, it's difficult.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I suppose with the S's, often it's sometimes it changes. Obviously, it changes to the number potentially, but sometimes it can also be the ownership of something. Who owns that thing, or who's responsible? And when you're listening to someone, and the S or the ending drops off, it can suddenly make you wonder, well, who owns this thing now, or who's doing that thing, or when did it happen? So that's the trick, I suppose, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or the tricky bit in English, I guess. So the only other couple of other things you notice. So I think it was so this word here, you were very clear at the beginning of the word, P-H-O. When you got to the end, it sort of died away a little bit. So it sounded like the French version of this word in a way. So in English, we simply say this as phone. You're getting a bit quiet on the end. So just try again. That's it. So you'll go.
Phone.
You're a bit too nasally, I think. So that's what I mean when I say the French version. So the PH is basically the F sound. Wherever you see, I think basically wherever you see PH together, it's the F sound. So really, perhaps in English we should simply spell that word. How do I do this? It should really probably be spelled F-O-N-E. Simple as that, really. But for whatever reason, it's PH. So both of these words, if they both existed, would be pronounced as phone. So just say it again. So phone. It sounds as if you're sort of with the N sound, it's a nasal sound, but it sounds like you're overdoing it. Does that make any sense? It sounds like you're lifting your tongue at the back of your mouth to get the N sound. You're sort of doing bong, bong. I can't quite copy you exactly. Bong, bong. I'm not quite doing that. I'm thinking of lifting my tongue at the front to get this. Yeah, I am. Yes. Phone. I'm lifting my tongue at the front to get the N sound. I'm touching my tongue. I'm using my tongue to touch the roof of my mouth near the front. I think you're doing it at the back, it sounds like. So phone. Can you just try again? Phone.
Phone. Phone. Phone.
Okay, can you just make the N sound? So N, the name of N is just N, isn't it? But we make the sound N.
And
No. So when you have these slash lines, it means that's the sound N. So the sound N makes is or nutter, na na na. Can you make that sound? Can you make the sound for me? It doesn't sound so. With the N, your mouth is open. You make the sound, and your tongue should be touching the roof of your mouth.
Okay.
Near the front somewhere. It could even be halfway, really, I suppose, but normally near the front. But so what happens is the air actually comes out of your nose, but it sounds as if you're touching somehow you're touching the roof of your mouth, but at the back of your throat. That's what it sounds like to me. Anyway, I might be wrong, of course. So can you try the N sound again? So n, n, n.
N.
Sounds okay. Sounds better, I think. So can you make the F sound as well? So PH.
F.
So F that's the name of the letter F, but and PH is obviously PH, but they make the sound. So I'm pressing my lower lip up against my upper teeth and just blowing air through the gap that it makes. Phone.
Phone.
Phone. I think the first one was quite good. Yeah.
Phone.
So you're too nasally when you're making the N sound, I would say, with this word. So let's give you another word with N in it. So more than one N. I'm trying to think of a word with more than one N in it. So the word. Well, let's just do a simple word then. So capital U in there. I'm terrible with my spelling. So this is the word number.
Number.
And again,
number.
That sounds really, really clear. That's very good. So when you're making the N, just think about how you're doing it. So you must have your mouth open. Number. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. How you doing it there? That's great.
Yeah, but I need to think about that.
Yeah. So
naturally, it doesn't fluent naturally to me this sound.
The word, the N sound. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Number.
Yeah,
number.
That's perfect. I would say absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
But that sound, try to stick that in at the end of phone. And that would be it. You'd be perfect, I would say. You'd be absolutely perfect on that word. Yeah.
Phone.
Yeah, you're still going very nasally, I would say. So maybe when you're in the shower for something, when you're just practice, because inevitably we sound very strange. We're practicing these sounds.
Perfect.
When you're own or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
In bed before you go to bed or something, quietly do it yourself. So make a note of this to practice this.
Perfect.
then-
Thank you.
Okay, so Christina, it's your go
Yes.
again now. Sorry about that. You just disappeared. I don't know. I guess
No,
it was
no,
the
no,
internet
it's-
again.
Yes,
Oh, you're breaking up again. You're breaking up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so carry on
I was just
reading.
trying to. Now I will choose. No, I will choose my place. Now you will see that will be better because I'm on the third floor right now. So I've been here. Now it's better. So
Okay.
the idea, I try to get it slower. Now it's better. I think it's better. Can you hear me better?
Yes,
Hello?
carry on as you are. That's great.
Okay, cool. The idea is the physician can spend more time with the patient, says Laura Malia. So let me see, what is the name? Oh, okay, Mali's co-founder and chief technology officer at T. He says that technology can suggest questions based on previous conversations and has heard in other healthcare situations. The AI has access to related conversations, and then it might think, well, in 10,000 similar conversations, most questions asked X and that has not been asked, says Mr. Malaise. By the way, I've been practicing with this, that, and those, on YouTube. I found it. So, and really, I try to practice with that. So I think I've seen, there is the example like this, the, month. So I have to put correctly. I try to practice anyway.
Yeah.
I'm the age.
Yeah.
So like the idea. So the idea.
I noticed. I did notice.
I
was
no,
going
it's
to
not. It's tricky.
I was
It's
going to say
tricky, but-
your "the" was basically
Mm.
perfect. I would say absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I would practice anyway. I
So-
know it's not easy anyway. Of course.
So right. So there's two ways of saying "the." There's "the" and there's "the." So
No,
so
this case,
most-
this is the, but that say that. No, we can't say. We can't say. I mean,
you
it's
could-
incorrect. The idea.
so
No,
there's
it's
the
incorrect.
you could say the idea or perhaps the idea. I'd say the idea, to be honest. You could
The
sort of say
idea.
the idea. You could say, but I'd
Yes.
be tempted to say the idea because it's just easier to say.
Mhm.
But if you were talking extremely slowly, you could say the idea is that you do it this way if you're trying to emphasize something. So there are some situations where you might do it the wrong way, as some might say. So yeah, if it works for you, it's okay. So there's the idea, I would say. So that's good. That's good. That was good though. It was good like that. It's very good reading. Good reading actually. Well done.
Well,
the
of course,
practice
I
has
didn't-
made all the difference.
This is not an English name, Mal.
No, it isn't.
Oh, I
So-
don't know. It's not Italian. It's not Latin. Mal.
I would say this is
Sorry.
Scandinavian.
Yeah,
Mars is
Scandinavian, probably.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Perhaps
not- it's not-
Norwegian, maybe. Okay.
I
So can we
think,
just
yeah.
do this word here? This is the word
Definitely.
patient.
So,
Patient.
with patient, it's a patient of mine,
That's
says
it, yeah.
Lawrence. It's a patient.
Yeah, that's
Well-
good. You've really got that. So
Because patience is something. Please, baby. Thank you for patience. Something that patient is your patient. The doctor has a certain amount of patience, no? So patient.
okay, good. So when it was the middle sound here, the sort of the T sound, the sort of SE kind of SH sound, I guess, isn't it really? That was the tricky bit for you, I think. So just be aware of
Patient.
just be
Okay,
aware
okay.
of the sounds which are tricky for you, I think. So yeah, you got it now. That's fantastic. Well done. Very good. What else was there? Oh, there was the word. Where's that word now? I can remember it, but I can't. Oh, there it is there.
Mhm.
So guess what I'm going to say?
Here, this word.
Yeah, guess what I'm going to say about this word?
Other healthcare situations.
You
Other.
said it. Hold on. You said
Other.
it twice just then at the beginning. So the first time was pretty good. I'd say 70 to 80%. But then you said it a second time and it wasn't quite so good. So the TH is in the middle of the word, and that's tricky too, isn't it? So when it's at the beginning in the word the, it's easier, as an easy word to say. So maybe this is another word you can practice. So find a good way to practice. That's one that needs another practice. I think you said YouTube. There are some very good YouTube videos out there. So because it's in the middle here, it's a very quick TH sound. You're just touching the back of your teeth. But when you're starting with that TH sound, as in the, you might possibly stick your tongue out between your teeth, and that's another way of doing it. So some people stick the tongue out, making even firmer sort of TH sound. Or you can touch the back of your tongue, back of your teeth as well, I should say. There's two ways of doing it. And so right next to it is another word too. So if we just practice these last few words, then if I read these words for you, then it's your go to practice them. So it has heard in other healthcare situations. I'll say it again. So
no, it's fine. I will
heard in other healthcare situations. So your go, give it a go.
I got it. It has heard in other healthcare situation. I pronounced it 3 times.
Yes.
Other.
I think you had the healthcare pretty good. I like that there.
Yeah,
and
but
you noticed what you did there.
Other.
So the first time, I think you just you sort of missed out the T part and just said, put like a big H sound.
Other. I said other. Yes, I just drop with T. So other. It's other, not other. Other.
So it is tricky. But the only thing is that I would say I can understand what you're saying, and this is a relatively small detail, because really on the whole you're pretty good. I say you're better than 80% of other students. You're right up there. But it's just little details such as the TH. But with the TH, it's just very common in English. So if you can get the TH sound, you'd be in the high 90s, I would suggest. You've been a good 90s.
So seems to me that like I'm a narrow student. I mean, I just need to somehow correct and some, like put some, of course, due to my improvement, I have to improve it. Just in order to boost and give it more, like, I don't know how to say, a better way of saying.
A bit more practice.
Superior way of reading, just better.
You can definitely do it. It's just trying to practice enough so you remember to do it when you have to do it. Because if you do it just occasionally, you sort of forget when it comes down to it, when you have to do it. It needs to become natural. Try to get it so it's natural, really, I guess.
But you know what I'm doing? I have 3 books.
Just to interrupt you, you're still dropping out. All this conversation we're having, you're still disappearing.
I will try to use my different. I will try to use different device definitely next time. But I'm saying, like, I just. It's boring for me. I have 3 books right now in English, all of them. So what I'm doing, I'm reading quickly without paying attention, without, like in this case, meticulously.
You're enjoying the book. You're enjoying it rather than reading it.
Yes,
that's great.
It's just, I write it. I try to enjoy it, but not meticulously like other. I'm not pushing and trying to.
Can I interrupt? Can I just interrupt a second? Can I just interrupt? When you're practicing, it's a great thing to read. Sorry to interrupt, but it's a great thing to read in the language you want to learn. But you have to do it out loud. And you don't have to do it for hours. You could just do it 10 minutes, perhaps. 10 minutes of reading in the language that you're practicing, but out loud. If you're doing it in your head, that's cheating. So if you can do it out loud, that's fantastic. Maybe do 5-10 minutes out loud and then the rest of it in your head. And then maybe you turn the page and the next few lines you do out loud. And then the rest of the page you do in your head to enjoy the book. Maybe, just an idea.
Understandably. Okay,
Okay.
got it. She's enjoying the book and reading out loud, of course. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Thank you for your. This is a good tip, by the way. It's a good tip. It's really the
Okay.
best one. It's just thank you. Appreciate a lot.
Okay. Right, it's almost half past, coming up for half past. So we'll have to end the
Yeah.
classy bit now. Maybe if we could just talk about this if you wanted to for a few minutes until the half hour comes up. So you said that you have everyone has the local doctor. So we call our doctor the GP.
Mhm.
What do you call your local doctor is it Spain? Did you say you came from, Jorge? Are you
Yes,
still in
Spain.
Spain?
Yes.
Do you have like do you have a name for your local doctor? Service, doctor services?
Yeah, we say médico de atención primaria.
So do you,
Doctor of primary, no,
it could be.
yeah, primary assistant or something like that.
As in the
Doctor.
first doctor you might see, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. The first doctor that you must see when something happens, or the closest doctor you have. So that would be the translation.
So these doctors, they don't have a specialization, or they
No,
do,
they
but
don't
it's their specialization is general.
It's general.
Yeah,
The
that's it.
specialization is general.
General.
And by the way, they don't want to do, or most of the doctors don't want to go to this specialization because it's too generalistic. No, it's too
Yes.
general. It's too general.
Yeah.
So when they normally end the studies, they want to specialize in any different job because
Specialization.
specialization. And we have a lack of these GPs in Spain. So we
I think
are.
that's true in Britain as well. So so what are you doing about it in Spain then? How do you try to solve that, do you think?
We are importing talent from Latin America.
Really?
So yeah,
There's some excellent doctors there, though.
Yeah, but yeah, of course. But I would say that 50% of the local doctors or the GPs are from Latin America nowadays.
50%. That's a huge number. 50%.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say between 30 and 50%. Yeah.
Oh, Christina. Bye-bye, Christina. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes,
Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
See you next
Nice to
time.
meet you.
Definitely.
I think that's the same in the UK. Not exactly. I would say a lot of the doctors do come from the Indian subcontinent. So that might be Pakistan.
Yeah, Pakistan.
India. I think, and there's a lot of nurses come from the Philippines and the Far East, what we call the Far East. So the Philippines, mainly the Philippines, I think, but probably elsewhere too.
And I think they have the same problem in France because I have some relatives in France, and they told me the same that they are trying to attract talent from to import from other countries, and they pay. The problem is that they pay almost the twice that we pay in Spain. So many Spanish doctors go to France. So that's another problem.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember last year the prime minister in France announced that they will pay 10,000 euros per month to this kind of per month for GPs. a lot.
Wow.
This is probably 3 times the salary that they can earn in Spain.
Times. Wow. I know in the UK that GPs do get a bonus because it is regarded as harder work. And there is a shortage, and so there's several different reasons, but they get a bonus. I don't know how big it is, but that is fantastic. Wow. So, yeah. So the West
The
is
problem is
definitely
that-
struggling.
Yeah. The problem is that most of the job that they do is administrative paperwork. So that's the reason, because the people don't want to go to this specialization, because they are taking sorry, they are giving prescriptions all the time.
Prescriptions.
Prescriptions, yeah. So there are a lot of old people who only go to the doctor every week or every 2 weeks for asking the prescription. So,
Yes.
so that's it's not challenge a challenge job, no, for them, because if you are in a hospital, I don't know, if you are an ophthalmologist, you are looking for different problems.
Yeah.
Every patient is a different has a different problem, no? Has a different sickness, and so I think the job is more challenging, and they can try to, they can improve, they can do research every day, and they can test with new tools or new surgeries, new kind of surgeries, or new techniques.
We might say procedures. I think we
Yeah,
say
procedures. Yeah, but in GPs, you are attending only basic problems, no? Fever,
Coughing child, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
would
that's
say
the problem.
that so it's really a different sort of doctoring, you might say. So it's very much a specialism when you work in a hospital and you work in one very particular area. Well, of course, with the GP, it's very general, as we said. GP stands for general practice.
Exactly.
General practice.
Exactly.
But you do.
very
I would
general.
have thought, as a doctor, you must get to know your patients. So it's a different sort of environment, being in the community and working with a group of people. I think I noticed somewhere in this article it said something like the GP is responsible. If we read it, so 2,273, wasn't it, I think? Oh, it's definitely here somewhere. I just searched 2002. There it is. There, yeah, we go. A single full-time GP is now responsible for 2,273 patients. So it's a big number, huge.
It's a big number. I don't know the ratio.
It's not millions, is it? It's not hundreds of thousands. It doesn't sound like an impossibly big number. And I don't know how many of them will be sick at any one time. But it sounds like you might get to know some of those people. It's a different job, definitely. I can see that some people would be attracted to that. You only worked with about 2,000 people, just a little over 2,000 people. Whereas as an ophthalmologist, it's a different patient every 10 minutes or half an hour or something, essentially, isn't it? You never see them again, probably. Possibly. I don't know exactly. The different work. I can see there's an attraction to it anyway.
I don't know the ratio in Madrid, but I can imagine that it's bigger than that that amount. They are always.
That must be an average. That must be an average, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
So
they are always claiming for the lack of doctors in terms of number of patients that they attend.
Let me just search this phrase, and I'll delete the number, and let's see what it comes up with as an answer. So I'll just search that little line. So I then say how many. Oops, no, now many. Oh, how many patients is there? Yeah, there we go. So, oh, not how many patients does my GP surgery have? So it doesn't. On average, maybe I should have said, how much do GP surgeries get paid per patient? That's an interesting question. So Per patient, they get about £100. Let's say roughly €100, something like that. Out of hours.
ChatGPT told me that in Spain, one GP has assigned between 1,500 patients and 1,800 patients, depending on the province.
Ah, so your GPs are much better than ours. I'd
Yeah,
have
it's much
thought.
better. It's much better because it's
Significantly
lower.
better.
Yeah, it's much better because it's lower.
Yeah.
In urban areas is that ratio I mentioned, and in rural areas is less. Is between 800 and 1,200.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I was thinking it might be higher in the rural areas. I didn't realize that.
No, it's the opposite because
Strange. Yeah.
yeah, it's strange. It's the opposite. I suppose that in urban areas, people don't go to the social security system. They probably has a private healthcare system.
Yeah, that's possible.
For example, my case, I normally don't go to the social security system because I have my private company because my
The work pays for it.
my company pay for me, so I normally go to the private services. So in Madrid, most of the people has private healthcare system. So that's allowed that they can have more patients per doctor. Yeah.
I can understand that. That's quite good. So while we were talking just then, I noticed there was just a couple of words. So I've written them down here. You can see the screen. So it was
asking.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good. Yes, asking. That's it.
Asking.
Yeah, that's good. I tend to say more R at the front. You're saying asking. A little bit American, I would say, but I'm more asking. And I think you say urban, but we say urban. Okay.
Urban.
At the front.
Urban. Yeah, I say urban. So it's not correct. Urban.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, urban. And it's not. It's sort of ban. But it's more. Let's tap it in over here. It's more bun. It's more burn, I would say.
Bun.
But let's try this. I bet they won't say it the way I'm saying it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's listen to them for a second.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it is actually urban.
Urban.
It sounds completely different. Completely different.
I would still say it's more of an sound. It's not really an A. It's more of an
Urban.
Well, let's listen to it. Listen to it again. I'll play it once more. Just listen again. Here we go.
Urban.
Yeah, I think you've got it. That's it, really.
Urban.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. Don't. You've got it, really. That's good.
I didn't know.
Yeah. That's
probably I have been years pronouncing wrong.
Oh, another word. Some people. So there's the metal, iron, and just did this yesterday. And there's the fish. So there's these are two words a lot of people seem to get mixed up on. So in England, we say this, we pronounce the metal as iron. So the R is completely silent for English people. Iron. You got a slight run. There's like a very slight r. Iron. We sort of say this word. Ion. Yeah, does that make sense? Ion. Yeah, okay. That's okay. I think you've got it there. And maybe this last one. How would you say that last one there? This is a fish.
Salmon.
And again.
Salmon.
Okay, so the L is for English people, the L is silent. For I'd say for 90% of people. So try again without the L sound.
Salmon, salmon, salmon.
So I would say you're doing this in a French accent. Salmon, salmon.
Ah, salmon.
That's what you. I'm
Salmon.
copying you now. I'm not saying this is the correct way. I would
Ah,
say
okay.
you're doing this in a French accent.
Okay.
Salmon, salmon. So that's the French way, let's say. But the English way would be something like salmon, salmon.
Salmon, salmon.
You're still saying the French way, what I would suggest. So
Wow.
salmon. That's the French way, salmon. But it's salmon, salmon.
Salmon.
Yeah,
Salmon.
French. So with the L, some people do pronounce the L. So you will occasionally hear some people say
Okay.
pronounce the L, but generally it isn't really pronounced, the L.
Mhm.
If I spelled it right, my spelling's appalling, and I can't always see what's wrong with it. So if I do type it wrong, do forgive me. Salmon. Let's hit. I'd be interested. Don't think I've ever done this. Oh, you see, look, can you see here? This is their pronunciation, and there's no L, is there? So they're not going to say the L. Let's listen to this.
salmon,
No L.
salmon,
Sam on. Sam
Sí,
on.
salmon, salmon, salmon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with this, so you got M and then an N. So with the M, when you're making the M sound, you have to have your mouth closed. So the air is coming out of your nose to make the sound, but there's a big space in your mouth for the sound to reverberate around. And so it's a particular M sound. So you just have your mouth closed, it makes a really sort of big reverberation. But when you make we make the N sound, it's very subtly different. So it's almost exactly the same, but your mouth is open for the N. Yeah.
Mhm.
So my mouth's closed. Sam, mouth closed. And then sam on. N. That's coming out of my mouth. N. Well, some of it is anyway. But you're saying it's sort of a French way. What I think is a French way is salmon, and it's salmon. Can you hear that there's a difference when I'm saying those two words? Yeah. So just be aware of that. And your brain will hopefully work out when you're asleep tonight, and you'll get there. Yeah, seriously, it does. I'm not saying it will happen, but hopefully. So just be aware of that. So really, M and N are very similar, but one's your mouth is open, and with the N, your mouth is closed. So M, your mouth's closed. M for mouth, you might say. Mouth is closed, but with the N, you normally have your mouth a little bit open. But really, the sound is still coming out of your nose for the most part, or for part of it anyway. So maybe listen to others when they're speaking and see, oh, how's he making that N sound? Oh, I'd see what he's doing. That sort of a thing. Maybe go on YouTube or watch the news, obviously in English, of course. Okay, so I'll leave that to you. We've almost been here 1 3/4 hours. So I think what we'll do is we'll stop the recording at this point, and we'll call it a day. So thanks for coming. Hope you come again.
Okay.
And see you next time.
Thank you very much.